past days, Chinese EV companies such as Nio, Xpeng, and Li Auto have been having a nice comeback after taking a large hit during the news of possible delisting as well as share dilution to raise capital. But all of this is changing after analysts are starting to realize their true potential. In this video, I will talk about the two most popular Chinese EV stocks for massive potential growth, and do make sure to watch until the end of the video because I will discuss very important news that investors must know regarding Nio and Xpeng that will redefine their competitive advantage, not just in China, but also around the world. If this is something that you're interested on, don't forget to subscribe to Electric Invest, where we discuss EV companies and exchange knowledge for a better investment. Without further ado, let's begin. When we talk about autonomous driving, the most notorious company that comes to mind is Tesla. However, Nio and Xpeng are starting to make a name for themselves in this sector. We know that the Chinese government is very reliant when it comes to rules and regulations. And recently, the Beijing government has announced that the city would allow firms to test Nio's robo-taxi service within the city. Despite multiple cities giving their green light to the robo-taxis, Beijing will become the very first city within China to detail legislation regarding insurance and coverage, putting Beijing ahead and right at the forefront of a fully functional robo-taxi fleet in China. As of right now, there are no cities within the United States that are open to such a plan, and even less likely in Europe. This is something that we're still yet to see outside of China, and Beijing is on track on becoming an autonomous driving powerhouse. It is said that the Chinese government is planning on having these robo-taxi regulations ready for the 2022 Winter Olympics. So I don't see a lot of people talking about this because this is extremely very important, because despite having the technological advances, if the government is not up to par, nobody's allowed to deploy such functionality. So this is definitely giving Nio a tremendous advantage. Nio is working with Mobileye to perfect its autonomous fleet, utilizing all of the features available today, including cameras, similar to Tesla's autonomous driving hardware, as well as recently the addition of LiDAR alongside with other safety features for additional accuracy. Now, I do want to point out that LiDAR has its limitations, and some may even say that LiDAR is pointless. However, for everything else, Mobileye is also relying on the camera system as well as powerful AI and data collection for achieving its level 4 autonomous. For those who don't know, you can take a look at this scaled graph that illustrates the 5 levels of autonomous driving. We can see that level 4 will be considered driverless within most conditions, with a few exceptions where the driver will need to take control of the vehicle. This would essentially mean that you can go from point A to point B without ever needing to touch the steering wheel, unless weather or some other unexpected situation would require you to do so. Now, I do want to point out to my Tesla subscribers that I am also aware that Tesla currently has the most data collected when it comes to autonomous driving, with over 3 billion miles as of April of 2020. This detail is very relevant because data is king when it comes to dominating autonomous driving. However, the current state of the laws in the United States must change in order for Tesla to be able to fully deploy its advanced features, in hopes that the United States will allow them to do so. I also want to point out that the purpose of this video is to mostly talk about the news on Nio and Xpeng, but I needed to mention this detail as it is very relevant to this case. I will not touch up too deep on this video on the technicals of autonomous driving. If this is something that you would want me to cover, feel free to tell me in the comment section below, and I will gladly make a video only on autonomous driving technology today. And as of right now, unless things change in the United States, companies like Nio will have the ability to catch up extremely fast due to having the green light before any other country. The only thing left now for Nio at this moment is to launch its sedan, which I am 100% sure it will skyrocket Nio's valuation overnight. As we all know, sedans are even more popular than SUVs in China. The sedan, along with the battery as a service, will still put Nio into a price parity with gasoline vehicles as well as charging times. But now I want to talk about the second most important Chinese EV company right now, and that is Xpeng. The major news that just broke out when it comes to Xpeng is that they just finally expanded to Norway. We know that global expansion of these Chinese EV companies is really going to be a game changer to their growth and expertise. According to an article from Barron's, Norway wants all new cars to be sold to be zero emissions by 2025. That is just extremely soon. We're talking about 4 years as of right now, because 2020 is already into an end. And China, for comparison, wants to hit that goal a whole decade later, but at least 25% of total vehicle sales by the same year. And the interesting thing about Xpeng choosing Norway is that Norway right now has roughly half of all cars sold being zero emissions. That's right, Norway right now has roughly half of all vehicles being EVs. And as of today, the EV penetration in China is still roughly just 5%. So this is the best way for Xpeng or any EV company to expand globally into such an advanced electrified market, even though Norway has a smaller volume, by percentage is beating all of the other countries in the world. I do want to point out that government policies, falling battery costs, and the overall rebound in car sales from the pandemic lows are all reasons EV stocks are on fire right now. And for these reasons, I see Xpeng and Nio as a great addition to anyone's EV portfolio. There's a lot of untapped potential for Nio and Xpeng, and that is just something that is undeniable. Xpeng has actually received the first 2021 Car of the Year by the award Zhuang. So I apologize if I mispronounced that, but according to this article from Business Wire, they go on explaining that Xpeng is proud to announce that its P7 super long range sports sedan was named the Car of the Year for 2021 by the Zhuang Award. And this is China's most prestigious badge for auto quality and innovation. So in my opinion, part of the reason for that is because there's a lot of good sentiment when it comes to the P7. And this is because sedans are extremely popular even in China. And as of right now, Nio has yet to come up with its sedan, so we're gonna have to wait until Nio Day in January 9th to find out about when we're expected to see Nio sedan. Now, I'm not trying to say that Xpeng is better than Nio. I am simply stating the facts over here and the news and what is good for each company. But I do want to take the time right now to talk a little bit about my predictions when it comes to Nio stock. So we know that a lot of things have been priced in when it comes to Nio, and we can see right now that Nio has had a tremendous year with over 1,700% year to date. And despite the recent sell-off when it came to the fears of delisting, the share dilution, Nio has been recovering quite well, especially today, ending at a positive nearly 3%. The sentiment right now when it comes to Nio is that any possible delistings is going to take at least 3 years from now. And not only that, Xpeng has been compliant. Nio needed to be a little more transparent. And like I mentioned earlier, January 9th, which is rapidly approaching, is a huge catalyst that's still bringing the stock up. And Nio also has plans of expansion to Europe, which we already know that is going to be called the Marco Polo project, which is Nio's plan on expanding on Europe. So Nio is not standing still. Nio is moving tremendously fierce when it comes to developing the company, new services, new technology, and tremendously exciting new products. I ended up picking up 100 more shares yesterday, and I am planning on picking up more shares today. This is not financial advice. This is just my opinion because of my understanding of the company and what they're going to be doing. And I personally, in my opinion, in my humble opinion that is, I believe Nio is definitely going to be hitting a minimum of $100 coming up after Nio Day. This is just my understanding because after Nio releases all these products, Nio's ability to continue to provide value in China as well as throughout the world is going to be understood by a lot more analysts and a lot more people on the planet. Nio is perfectly situated in China, which is the largest EV market on the planet, worth over $455 billion. So for all these reasons, that Nio is still a buy anytime in 2020 and even possibly even 2021. But 2020 specifically, because these prices are a massive discount right now, and you do not want to be on the wrong side of the fence. Again, this is not a financial advice. I just wanted to talk about what's going on with Nio. Now, I do want to say that I do also invest in Tesla, and Tesla is one of the biggest positions in my portfolio. But it doesn't mean that I don't see the potential of Nio. Just like somebody would invest in Apple, they would also invest into Microsoft, because you do not want to just put all your eggs in one basket. You definitely want to diversify and take advantage of two great players in the industry. This is something that usually people who have a little more understanding and don't get full of emotions tend to do. It's okay if you like Nio and only Nio. It's okay if you like Xpeng and only Xpeng. It's okay if you only like Tesla. That's fine. Tesla is not just a car company. Same thing with Nio. There's a lot of great things when it comes to all these companies, but I just wanted to point that out because I also have a lot of people subscribe to the channel that also invest in Tesla, and I don't like to alienate anybody in this channel. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna have to leave the video right here, but I want to know about your opinions right now. Do you believe in Nio and the company's mission long term? And what do you think about the new models that Nio is going to be releasing? With the two new sedans, the minivan and the new SUV. I would love to read your comments in the section below, and if you enjoyed this type of videos, don't forget to subscribe to Electric Invest, where we discussed EV companies and exchange knowledge for a better investment. And I'll see you guys on the next video.
We'll be right back.